Welcome to Recovery Coast to Coast, broadcasting from Seattle, Washington, carried live on 850 KHHO in Tacoma, Washington, and carried nationally in streaming audio at www.recoverycoasttocoast.org. 2 hours of interviews and features, plus questions and comments about this one-day-at-a-time adventure in personal recovery as we share experience, strength, and hope with others so that they may recover from alcohol and other drug and behavioral addictions. And now, Recovery Coast to Coast is on the air. Here's your host, Neil Scott.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Neil Scott. Great to have you with us tonight. The program is Recovery Coast to Coast, the only program in America on the air 5 nights a week, 2 hours a night, talking about recovery. Now, we start tonight's program with a visit from a dear and treasured friend, Scott Kelley. He's been on the show before. He's the president of what I think is one of the best treatment centers in all of Texas, Summer Sky Treatment Center. It's a unique and innovative treatment program. We're going to talk about Summer Sky and some of the innovative things they're doing. But he's also the president of TAAP, which is the Texas Association of Addiction Professionals. They have an amazing conference every year. It has been going on for, well, actually, this will be their 45th year. They bring together people from all over the state of Texas, actually all over the country. It is that good of a conference. I the show from a lot of different conferences around the country, and I got to tell you, this is second to none. This is outstanding. The theme for this year, they have wonderful, fun themes every year. The theme for this year is Survivor, and who's going to get voted off Survivor Island?
And we're hoping that we can vote all addiction off of the island.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Voting addiction off the island. Yes, indeed. Tell us a little bit about the conference. The dates are a little bit different this year. I know in the past it's been kind of mid to late August. This time it's going to be September 5th, 6th, and 7th down in San Antonio at a beautiful location. It's the Hilton Regency Hill Country Resort in San Antonio. Tell us what's lined up for this year, Scott.
Great education. I think that's what's great for the therapists across the United States coming to this conference is that they're going to get a relaxation, but at the same time get some high-quality education on addiction and recovery-related practices. One of the things that's going to be interesting this year is we're going to have what we call a heart room, and that's going to provide meditation and a place to get away from the conference and do a little bit of relaxation and kind of regroup as a therapist, make sure that all the clinicians are recharged. And basically, in essence, the conference is themed on the education and reuniting that fire to go back into private practice and to the treatment centers to help other people with addictions.
You know, that is so important, Scott. As you know, you have to take care of yourself. And this is a great opportunity to, number one, learn, and number two, take care of yourself. And number three, be able to go back to your community, your program, your practice with new energy.
And then also another thing that's going to be highlighted at this conference is, of course, with the opioid crisis that's still ongoing, new techniques and ways to handle and deal with that crisis as it continues to go across the United States. Have some good speakers related to that also. We're having Michael McDaniel be there, and he's really big in the city of Houston, the police department. He's been part of the NDCP and had some experience working with high-intensity drug trafficking area. So that'll be really interesting to see what his take is on the current trends that are going on. A lot of people aren't aware that in Texas, it's a little bit different with the fentanyl that's coming across because we have black tar heroin all over southern parts of Texas. And so the fentanyl doesn't mix correctly with the black tar. The overdoses are a little bit different. It's more tricky for the drug dealers to mix in the fentanyl, so a lot of times it's sold off as other things and mixed in with methamphetamines and other things like that right now.
Dangerous stuff.
We're seeing the methamphetamine usage being impacted with fentanyl mixed in with methamphetamines now, so that's kind of a new trend.
If you're just joining us, Scott Kelley is with us for a few moments tonight on Recovery Coast to Coast. He's the president of TAAP, which is the Texas Association of Addiction Professionals, and they've got a great conference coming up in September 5, 6, and 7 in San Antonio at the Hilton Regency Hill Country Resort. Some of our listeners may recall that we've had Scott on before. He was the Professional of the Year in, was it 2014? Was that correct?
That is correct.
Just an amazing honor, the Mel Schulstad Award, and Mel was one of my mentors, and what an honor. And another person who was a professional of the year, Cynthia Moreno-Tui from NAADAC. I understand she's going to be at the conference this year.
Yes, we're going to have her speaking. It's going to be really neat having her at the conference. She's going to be really getting us up to par at the national level.
You know, one of the things that's exciting for me when I come down to Texas every year is the fact that there's a lot of new people coming into the field, a lot of people with energy, a lot of people really putting themselves out there to help. And one of the things that this conference is doing this year is having the newcomers networking reception, an opportunity for some of the new people to get together, and I believe that's going to be on Saturday.
That is correct. And, you know, this year we're going to be hosting all of our recovery coaches and a new certification that's come out related to recovery coaching. We call it a recovery support specialist here in Texas, and it allows people to be working with people with addictions. And so that's a brand new group of people in the state of Texas that are on the front lines this year. The young addiction professionals, they'll be there. And the young addiction professionals is a group of energetic, young people in recovery who are moving towards making a change in their state. And they go to Washington, they speak in Washington, they go to the state legislature in Texas and the House, and they participate with NAADAC and with a lot of other organizations on the front lines for substance use disorders.
Scott Kelley is joining us on Recovery Coast to Coast, and he is the president of TAAP, putting on the big conference down in Texas. Again, the dates are September 5th, 6th, and 7th. We would love to have you come down there. We're going to be broadcasting from the conference as we do every year, and it just brings together some of the most exciting people. If you get there a little bit earlier, like maybe on the 4th, you'll be able to also play a little golf, I understand.
So that'll be an exciting opportunity for all our golfers. And they come from all over the United States just to participate at this golf event.
One of the most amazing things about this conference, Scott, is every year when I come down there, it's bigger than the year before. It keeps getting bigger, and it keeps getting better. The area where all of the exhibitors are is just filled with people and with programs and representing programs from not only Texas, but from all over the Southwest. You really put on a great conference, Scott.
Well, thank you very much, Neil. This year we're taking over the second part of the hotel. So we'll be at more exhibitors, sponsors, and different folks.
Oh, that's great. It's a great hotel, and it can accommodate a lot more people. So each year it gets bigger and better, and they certainly accommodate you there at the Hilton Regency Hill Country Resort. I had you on to talk about the conference, and I do want to, again, say it's going to be September 5th, 6th, and 7th in San Antonio. But I also want to use this opportunity again to talk about what you do as the president of what I think is one of the best programs in all of Texas, which is Summer Sky Treatment Center. You do some very innovative, exciting, different kinds of things. And I got to ask you about something that you folks are offering called Goga.
Yes.
What in the heck is Goga?
Goga, yoga mixed with little baby goats. It's a new trend. Started in Austin, Texas, and it's been spreading all over the United States, where all of these yoga practitioners, people that love yoga, begin to use the goats, the little baby pygmy goats, into the yoga practice to get them started in the process of doing yoga. And it gets laughter, it gets a lot of stuff going on with the clients that, like in treatment, they really love it. I mean, they just cannot wait till those baby goats get to the yoga instructor and get there. And it's kind of using the animal-assisted therapy concept, but it's not doing therapy. It's doing basically yoga with these goats interacting with the participants. I was a big skeptic at the beginning when the idea came around, but then I went in there and experienced it myself, and it was amazing. I've just never seen nothing like that before.
Summer Sky has always been on the cutting edge of innovation in the treatment field. You do equine therapy. One of the first programs I heard about was doing equine therapy. How does that mix in with your treatment menu?
You know, a lot of people struggle with resistance and surrender and things of that nature, and the power of the horse and the power of the therapy and the process group that happens after the equine therapy session itself combined can really break down some barriers. with individuals with substance use disorders and many other disorders, too, that are mixed on, any of our coexisting disorders or your dual diagnosis disorders. And it just really can unite a group of individuals in treatment. And it puts little reality checks, because addiction is so much bigger, and so is that horse. So much bigger than a person, too.
You're absolutely right. Summer Sky Treatment Center, it's about an hour outside of Fort Worth. It started back in 1985. It's got a long, rich history. Tell us a little bit about the treatment program. I know you do detox. You do a lot of different things. Give us kind of an overview, if you would.
At the time that we started, we were basically a facility that was dealing with alcoholism at the time. We didn't call it alcohol use disorder. We called it traditional alcoholism. And that's what we started out as, an alcohol detox center. That first year, I believe we had something like 90 patients in that first 3 months, and it continued to grow into a 54-bed facility located in a little town called Stephenville, Texas. And over the years, we expanded our treatment organization to offer medical detox, inpatient treatment, residential treatment, and then partial hospitalization, and then some intensive outpatient programs. And then after that, it kind of went from your 28-day model treatment to a 30-day, and then it went to 45 days, and then there's the 60 and 90-day program. It's grown basically with the rate of what addiction is like. As it's continued to grow, so has the therapies and the different innovative approaches to the treatment of addiction. One feature that we have that's a little different is we have a relapse track. It's usually for people that are what we call men or women with a history of relapse.
Those who are reluctant to recover.
That is exactly right. So it's not necessarily those that had failure to launch issues. It's more people that have actually really had an actual relapse. In other words, if you just went out and you never tried recovery, it wouldn't be an ideal program for you. But if you actually were out there and participating and then did have an actual relapse, it's a good program to get back into and find out exactly what it is, where you went wrong, what happened, and what's the solution now. It keeps people from having to go back through a treatment and they've already learned all this information. So they can go straight in and get right down to the causes and conditions and find out what's been happening with them.
I've referred a number of people to your facility, and one of the things that people seem to really appreciate is the fact that you work with them on the pricing. You've got affordable pay options. You even from time to time have specials. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example. During the March Madness time period, we run a March Madness special. Wow. So we kind of theme those specials related to different holidays and events and stuff. And, the facility was founded on by one of our founders who his name was Al Conlon. He was big in bringing about the licensed chemical dependency counselor in the state of Texas. So he was big on licensure. He went to treatment for about, he had 5 different relapses. He basically was all about, let's make it affordable for families to go to treatment. And let's make sure that we're always reaching out and not turning people away. That's why we offer those specials on a monthly basis to basically allow people that can't get into treatment to find a place to get to treatment.
We're talking to Scott Kelley tonight. He is the president of Summer Sky Treatment Program, Stephenville, Texas, about an hour outside of Fort Worth. He's also the president of TAAP and the big conference coming up September 5th, 6th, and 7th. Scott, if people want to find out more about your program, obviously your website is summersky.us, correct?
That is correct.
What about for the conference? How do people find out more about what's going to be happening, the program, the speakers, and CEUs that are being offered?
Yes, they can go to taap.org, or they can go to specific taapstateconference.org. Either one of those websites will lead them right to the conference.
It is the most organized, it is the most exciting, and it is the most in-depth conference, I think, of any program anywhere in the country. And I'm looking forward to joining you down there and broadcasting from the 45th Annual Conference. And we're going to vote addiction off the island.
Good speaking with you, Neil.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you down in Texas, my friend.
All right.
Scott Kelley joining us on Recovery Coast to Coast. We're going to take a short time out. Back with more right after this.